In the top of the first inning, Andy Van Slyke will hit a two-run home run off of Bill Sampson. Van Slyke's third home run of the year. RBIs number 11 and 12 as Orlando Merced scores. 2-0 Bucks lead in the top of the first inning. Bottom of the first inning, Ivan Calderon with the base hit. This will score Delino DeShields. RBI number 13 for Calderon. Montreal trail 2-1 in the bottom of the first. In the top of the third inning, Bobby Bonilla up with the bases loaded. He hits a double into the left center field gap. This will score Jay Bell and Orlando Merced. Van Slyke ends up on third base. 4-1, Bucks lead. In the top of the third inning, RBIs number 10 and 11 for Bobby Bonilla. Action now from the bottom of the sixth inning. Dave Martinez with a pinch hit RBI single. Scores Nico Riesco. Montreal trail 5-3. But in the top of the eighth inning, Barry Bonds will put the game away as he hits a two-run homer off of Steve Fry. For Barry Bonds, his first homer of the year. RBIs number 3 and 4 as Bobby Bonilla scores ahead of Bonds. Pittsburgh led 7-3, and this is the final. Pittsburgh wins 7-3. John Smiley wins. He's 3-0. Bill Sampson takes the loss. He's 1-1.
It's an ideal night for baseball in Milwaukee on Tuesday. In fact, it's a lot less than ideal. 44 degrees at County Stadium and a drizzle as this game would be held up for about a half hour at the start. The Brewers hosting the Texas Rangers. When they did begin in the bottom of the first, Dante Bichette with this double, and this scores Robin Yount and Franklin Stubbs. The Brewers take a 2-0 lead against Texas starter Bobby Witt. In the top of the second, the Rangers would get one of those runs back. This on the bat of Ruben Sierra, who hits a home run, his second of the year. This is a solo blast off Brewers starter Jamie Navarro, and this cuts the Milwaukee lead to 2-1. But watch as the home run hits the right field bleachers, and this woman will do anything to stay dry as she does not move from underneath her umbrella, despite the fact that the home run ball rolls right under her feet, and the youngster flags it down, and Texas cuts Milwaukee's lead to 2-1. And the hot water bottles in the Ranger dugout, and in the bottom of the second, it would be the Brewer bats that would heat up, especially Robin Yount, as Yount hits his fourth home run, a 3-run blast, and this would give Milwaukee a 5-2 lead. Watch as the ball bounces off the center field bleachers. Gary Pettis tries to pretend it's in play. The umpires don't fall for it. Yount with a home run. And this fan in Milwaukee, quite the contrary of the woman under the umbrella, as he'll do anything to get the foul ball. The Rangers would score 3 times in the top of the fourth. Here, Brian Downing, one of the surprises in the American League thus far this year. Downing the double to score Steve Buechele. That makes it 5-4. Texas adds another run to tie it at 5. And it would stay that way throughout the drizzle all the way until the top of the 11th when Texas would win it. Mike Stanley, the suicide squeeze. This scores Nick Capra, and Texas wins 6-5. Goose Gossage works 2/3 of an inning to pick up his first victory since September of '89 as a member of the Yankees. He's 1-0. Chuck Krim, the loser, 1-1. Jeff Russell, his third save. In the top of the first, Tony Gwynn would triple off Giants starter Scott Geralt. This scores Bip Roberts and Tony Fernandez, and the Padres take a 2-0 lead. Later on in the top of the first, Fred McGriff would add a 2-run home run, and San Diego leads at 4-0 after the first inning. In the bottom of the second, Kevin Mitchell hits his 7th home run of the year. This coming off Padres starter Eric Nolte. Mitchell's solo blast would put the Giants on the board. They now trail 4-1 in the bottom of the second. Padres would add to their lead in the top half of the third, as it's Benito Santiago who would single, and this would score Fernandez. San Diego taking a 5-1 lead. But the Giants would come back in the bottom half of the third. This time, it's Will Clark who hits a home run, a 2-run blast, his third of the year. This also off Nolte. And the Giants cut San Diego's lead to 5-3. Now move to action in the top of the sixth with the score 6-4 San Diego. Bip Roberts at the plate, and Roberts would triple. This off reliever Don Robinson. It would score Nolte to make it 7-4. The Giants would come back to score 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. And after 7 innings of play, San Diego leads this one by the score of 7-6 over the Giants in Candlestick. And in the 8th, Roberts, a great catch running out and grabbing this Kevin Bass looper. as he tries to preserve the Padres' lead of 7-6 in the 8th.
And the Atlanta Braves in LA hoping to extend their 3-game road winning streak against the Dodgers. Top of the second inning, Dave Justice will hit a solo home run to right field. His second of the year, RBI number 9, 1-0 Atlanta. That would be all the runs that the Braves would need in this ball game. But we'll show some highlights anyways. Top of the 9th inning, Gary Carter will throw out Jeff Treadway trying to steal second base. The third Brave he had gunned down through 4 innings, as Gary Carter goes 3 for 3, gunning out Atlanta base runners. Bottom of the 4th inning, Tom Glavine will strike out Darryl Strawberry for the second time on the evening, and he'd have plenty more strikeouts in him. That is Tom Glavine would. 2-0 Atlanta, top of the 5th. Bases full, Deion Sanders with a base hit to right field. Greg Olson scores easily from third base, but Alfredo Griffin will get the throw into Gary Carter, who blocks the plate beautifully to stuff Rafael Balliard trying to score in his 3-0 Atlanta. A great play by the Dodger catcher, as we take one more look at the blocked plate job by Gary Carter. Top of the 6th inning, Sid Bream with a double down the right field line into the corner. Ron Gant comes in to score for the Braves, and it's 4-0 Atlanta. But the story of this game definitely was Tom Glavine. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, he strikes out Brett Butler. Butler will lose his bat in the process. He had a career-high 10 strikeouts on the night. He retired 18 batters in a row between the 2nd and the 8th inning, and in the bottom of the 9th inning, gets Stan Javier to ground out to end the ball game. A complete game shutout for Tom Glavine, who ups his record to 2-1. Kevin Gross drops to 0-3 as the Braves win 4-0 over the Dodgers.
In California, Doug Rader and the Angels host the Seattle Mariners. Pick up the action in the top of the 1st inning. Edgar Martinez with a base hit to left field. This will score Ken Griffey Jr. Seattle leads 1-0. Pete O'Brien comes up for the Seattle Mariners. He will get a base hit up the middle. This is off of Scott Lewis in the top of the 1st inning. Edgar Martinez scores. Seattle leads 2-0 in the top of the 1st inning. Scott Bankhead pitched 7 scoreless innings, striking out 3 California Angels. Here he gets Junior Felix in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bankhead was also helped out by some fine defensive play in this game. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Wally Joyner with a fly ball to deep right field. Greg Briley jumps up and makes the catch at the fence. One more look at this fine play by Greg Briley of the Seattle Mariners on the deep fly ball of Wally Joyner. Russ Swan will get Lance Parrish to ground out to end the game. Mariners win by the score of 2-0. The winning pitcher was Scott Bankhead. His record is 1-1. The loser was Scott Lewis. His record is 1-1. Russ Swan with his first save. The Mariners have now won 8 straight games, which is a club record.
Tuesday evening in Chicago, Chad McDowell and the White Sox took on the Baltimore Orioles and defeated them by a score of 10-4. In the top of the 2nd inning, Randy Milligan was struck out by McDowell for McDowell's 3rd strikeout and only in the top of the 2nd inning. But as you could see, it was raining, and then just 2 batters later, home plate umpire John Shulock stopped the game due to the hard rain, and there was a rain delay, which lasted over 2 hours and 4 minutes before it was finally resumed. And in the bottom of the 2nd inning, with no score, Chicago got on the board when Frank Thomas came up and belted a 2-run homer to straightaway center field of Baltimore starter Dave Johnson. It was Thomas' 2nd home run this season. Colin Fisk scored on the home run, and the White Sox led 2-0. In the top of the 3rd, Baltimore got back a run when Cal Ripken Jr. singled to right field, knocking at Mike Devereaux for his 14th RBI, and the lead was cut to 2-1. But in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Chicago increased its lead to 4-1 when Robin Ventura came up and belted his 2nd home run of the season to left center field. RBIs 5 and 6 as Lance Johnson scored on the home run, and the White Sox led 4-1. A ground down, a couple of 2-run doubles made the score 9-1. Then the bottom of the 7th inning, Craig Reback came up and belted his 1st home run of the season, a solo shot to left field, and the White Sox had a 10-1 lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. In the top of the 8th inning, the Orioles got back a couple runs when Joe Orslag hit his first home run of the season. A 2-run shot to right field. Mike Devereaux was on board for the home run, and the lead was cut to 10-3 in the top of the 8th inning.